Let me get this out of my system. The White Stripes is a horrible fucking band. Talentless shit. You see the blue check mark? Those are the incremental steps towards social credit slavery. In other words, this post has quite a few people who have seen it. These are red flags, by the way. Not the White Stripes thing per se, but the blue check mark, sure as shit. If you pulled your head out of your ass. But apparently 331,000 people saw this and didn't realize that. 43,000 have circulated it, and 2,000 plus have commented, including myself. Fortunately, I know people who thought this sounded good. Never trust a celebrity puppet. That's the short version. I'm going to read this to you. This is what I left on here. I took time and energy to relate this to morons. Oh, good. It's still at the top of the stack. Surprising. Mark Ruffalo and Donald Trump both are subservient to Israel. That's a fact, by the way. You could look into it. Mark Ruffalo is not only a talentless hack, and that's neither here nor there, but he is. He's a Zionist puppet, just like Donald Trump, just to drive the point home, because most people are fucking stupid these days. And I said, look into it. In other words, I'm not concerned with these, morons' opinions. If you connect the dots, what I just said is true. Here's the long version. The only reason you were spoon-fed this garbage is because Mark Ruffalo is a Zionist puppet, just like Donald Trump. They're both actors, just to be clear. Both of which are in place to promote the Hegelian dialectic, which is fascism in practice. If you and I are divided, you wouldn't necessarily realize that a lot of folks you assume are Caucasians are, in fact, Ashkenazi. I'm going to read that again. If you and I are divided, you wouldn't necessarily realize that a lot of folks you assume are Caucasians are, in fact, Ashkenazi, posing, and it should say as Caucasians, in Hollywood, politics, religion, and the music industry. And the list goes on. I mean, that's just to name a few broad categories of you and I being manipulated by these people. Ashkenazi relate to Germany and Europe. They do not have Semitic ties. Once again, they relate to Germany and Europe, retards. Which means, if you're a pseudo-intellectual, I'm pro-Palestine. I support people who were born and raised in the land of Canaan, which is why I say Canaan, Palestine sometimes. And retards don't understand. Palestine doesn't have anything to do with Canaan. You're a fool. You're wrong. Nuh-uh. Or they just send me emojis because they're dumb. Which means I'm not anti-Semitic. But you were trained well if you felt a knee-jerk urge to crap out some assumptions. And this is being circulated, just to be clear. If you take the ChatGPT stuff, too, and you fuck with the sigil, you can knock out what people would dress up as a Merkaba, an icosahedron, a six-pointed star. You with me? Probably not.